Okay. Thanks again, Britt. Thank you for joining this podcast. We're just going to have some free-flowing conversation regarding the industry, the trends, and how things are going. I really appreciate you joining. I'm just going to let you introduce yourself a little bit. I went to your website, BestWork.ai, and I was doing lots of fun things there, but I would like you to take it from here and probably just introduce yourself, and then we go from there.
Sounds great. And thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. So I guess a little bit about myself. Young guy in New York, left NYU. So I dropped out of NYU to start my company, BestWork, a year ago. Took a big risk, and we're definitely in the phase now where it's increasingly paying off. So prior to that, I was in VC at United Health Group.
Right.
We were doing like AI, seed stage healthcare stuff. Really cool stuff. Honestly. I think that stuff's going to be the future. But I was going on the finance track before in my life. That's why I was doing the whole VC stuff. But I fell in love with startups. So just, took it from there.
Wow. So what were the challenges? So how long ago did you start up?
14 months.
14 months ago, about a year and a half. What were some of the challenges that you faced when you started up?
Everything's a challenge.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of the pain points, like, do you have some doubts, like thinking like, oh, is this going to work? Did you try other things before this one, or you just...
Well, I had businesses that made money before, like simple businesses, like internet, online selling, stuff like that. I did all that all throughout high school. So
Right.
I've ran online businesses to like $10,000 a month.
Right.
I started doing that like 15. So I've always been like online making money or in person making money, just like always like doing entrepreneurial activities.
Right.
But the thing with a tech startup is like, it's just an order of magnitude more difficult. First off, it's not like I approached it the wrong way before. I was approaching it from like trying to build stuff. And I
Right.
think like the biggest learning I've had in the past month that has actually made me the most money, which is, no, it doesn't matter what you're building at the
Yeah.
end. It's all about how well can you market and sell it.
Okay. Yeah. How well can you sell it?
So it's, we were building, coding. I had to learn how to code.
Okay.
I was a finance guy. I taught myself how to code while I was in China. Oh, I should have mentioned I was in China for school, dude. It was freaking like, imagine learning Chinese
Okay.
and how to code. Like I wouldn't.
I see. That can be challenging. Probably that's part of coding. Like Chinese for so just looks like another coding language, and they have to figure that.
It's easier, dude. It's like,
Yeah.
you look at it, the grammar structures, at least in Python or other languages, like it's pretty linear. In China, the grammar structure's backwards too compared to
Okay.
English. So it's like, yeah.
So when you start up like that, then you kind of realize at one moment that, okay, with tech, you don't really have to build, you have to market. So how did that go, like that transition from... I'm in tech. Sorry, I'm going to introduce myself. I have a background in tech, and then I just started a company called EveryBrainSolutions.ai, and I'm looking at tech trends and getting a podcast, looking at what's happening, seeing how I can help other companies who are in the industry or scale. But that's been a learning curve for me as well, like going from tech to marketing. It's not something I've always felt like tech is, you have to build stuff. But then how did that transition go, like for you going from building to marketing or sales?
It's, to be honest, okay, so to preface, like, you should know how to make a product. So you shouldn't sell something that you can't actually deliver on.
Right.
Very, very key point. It's okay to, market, but as long as you can deliver at the end of the day. If you can't deliver, then, play the game according to how well you can meet others' expectations.
Right.
But if you can play the game well, and you actually can't, so we have a CTO that's extremely talented. You need like one mathematics look at all that
Right.
stuff. So we have that on lock. But to answer the question directly, it's simply forgetting everything. Like, it doesn't matter what you want. That's like, for me, it's like someone who wants to express themselves creatively. I was like, oh, I want to make something that's cool, that I think is cool. No one cares. It's all of like, nobody cares.
Mm-hmm.
The truth, no one cares. You just have to look at what does the market actually want right now. What is the pain of the common person?
Right.
What that's, your friend or the business you're trying to serve or whoever, but like, what is the actual pain? What is that? And then like make them pay for it. And if they're
Right.
not gonna pay for it, then cool, dude. Like I'm not gonna do that.
For sure. Nobody wants to do that. So what do you guys do at BestWork.ai? Like what specifically do you for your client, what are
It's
the
a lot of
clients expect? Yeah.
we have a lot of fun. So the product is it's an AI native labor market. So you think about it, there's two sides of it. There's the consumer side, which is typically young people graduated from college. They are very frustrated right now because the job market is horrendous. There's it's over half of recent college graduates are still looking for work in America. So that's brutal. So they see our platform as a way they can automatically apply to jobs that fit best for them. And they pay to be on there. So it's really only top quality candidates. So we really have a really high quality talent and we're saving them a lot of time and we're getting them jobs. On the business side, it is AI is directly built into how we filter those applications. So like, you ever post a job on LinkedIn?
Right.
No.
Yeah.
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 You see the stuff you get, right? It's like 10% of it, 5% of it is like somewhat palatable, and like 95% is like, dude, like what's going on here?
Right.
Like, and you have to like look through it, and it's a huge waste of time. We filter all that automatically, and we streamline the interview process, so it saves a ton of time, only providing the highest quality candidates.
Wow, that's cool. So you implement AI, artificial intelligence, to filter those workflows, to filter what matches the job profile, what they need, right? And then, so on the business side, businesses will consult your business, B2B, in order to get the talents that they need. Is that how it works?
Yes. So businesses, we have inbound channels for businesses. They come to us. It's actually pretty simple. You can just go on our website, click for the employer website. So
Wow. Yeah.
click the employer link. You just no demo, no nothing. No upfront fee. It's really seamless. You just click, sign up, you post a job. Really simple.
So are you like your competitors would be like the normal traditional job websites like Workopolis, Indeed? Are you competing with them in that area, or you're
Yeah, to
like
some extent.
you're complementing them? How does that work?
Well, for the time being, we'll be competing.
Okay, okay, yeah, makes sense.
Depends if they send me a nice email writing we would like to partner. Of course, we'll love to compliment them.
But the difference with your model is that with them, the employers, the companies, they pay to be on, but yours is turning it the other way around. Let the potential.
Initially, so we're definitely going to extract the revenue from the B2B side, but in order to scale. So actually, here's a little nugget is that Indeed did the same thing. So
Yeah.
Indeed actually was for free for employers at first too, and then they captured enough of the market to where they just extracted tremendous value from it. But we don't do that. We intend to go and be like so there's a fundamental supply and demand problem, right? Like if we look at what is the actual problem that needs to be solved in the labor market, it's not that it's not efficient enough. It's simply there are too many college graduates because people were sold a dream that they needed to go to college. There's
Right.
too,
Exactly.
and there's simply too few jobs.
Right.
So in our platform, we limit the amount of people that are on it via them paying for it. So it's like a way for us to throttle demand, and then the
Right.
supply of jobs we make it as plentiful as possible. And if we see that there's a need to charge employers for additional things, we will.
Okay.
But it's all about how can we maintain that supply and demand equilibrium, so that we have the best platform.
Wow. That's cool. Have you thought about have you thought about maybe potential employees hesitant to pay to look for a job? Has it crossed your mind, like I have to pay a monthly fee to get a job, and probably the fact that you basically, is there a guarantee? Like sometimes you think about maybe we're going to guarantee them getting a job, and they've been paying this monthly subscription and probably not getting anything in return. Do you help them
He's
with their job search, trying to give some advice, like this is how you get a job, or maybe a resume isn't up to par and then you're paying us? Is there a way to optimize the experience in such a way that
we definitely do that. So we're doing that already. But yeah, like a big trick I learned in sales is never say the word guarantee.
guarantee? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
there's no, I can tell you that you have a significantly higher likelihood and that you'll likely do it faster with significantly less time spent on your part. And it's a very worthwhile value proposition. But I would never say that you're guaranteed. That's
Right. Because if you don't say it, maybe they come with the impression that now that I'm paying for a service and my ultimate goal is to get a job. If I'm paying for it, then I should have a job.
really.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we're able to deliver that much faster than the traditional method. So if you isolate it, right, and you just look at,
Right.
I'm going to apply to 300 jobs on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
It's going to take you a month and maybe you'll get something,
Right.
right? We do that. Yeah, 300 jobs actually might take someone 2 to 3 months. We do that, couple weeks. And so it's faster, number one. And number two, your resume is better and it's only applying to jobs that would actually fit you. Like typically what people will do is they'll just be like, apply.
Apply to everything. I see. So yeah. So you scan the system based on your profile, based on the profile that I upload to the system, and they apply to the jobs that they fit you based on your profile and criteria that the jobs require and experience. Okay. And so all this is done in the back end, automated process, not manual, right? So how do you implement the workflow in such a way that, because it's a novelty, right? It's actually a good idea. How do you, I've seen people try to automate job search, like just applying to 1,000 jobs every day, get up and run a script that applies that. But it's not up to what you're saying, like where we have to make sure we apply only to jobs that fit my expectation. And sometimes you may have the skill and they say, well, your resume has to be adapted. Your CV has to be adapted to the job requirement. So how do you meet that challenge?
It's a bit like for the people if you go on GitHub, right? There are like, if you're a technical person, you've probably already done this, where on GitHub, there are scripts that you can plug into LinkedIn that will just like
Exactly.
the thing, one, most people like aren't really technical enough to like successfully implement that. But let's assume that everyone was. Problem with that is, one, LinkedIn definitely does not want that on their platform. So like that would
Exactly.
100% get banned. It's just a function of like when it does. Again, play the game according to how you want to play. I'm not saying don't. I'm not saying do it. I'm just saying that like, if I was LinkedIn and I understand this goes against my guidelines, it's definitely in my best interest to ban that. And
Right.
they definitely have resources to do it.
Yeah.
So that's a big one. Then following that is like, there's just no guarantee of quality. Like it's all that.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, yeah, like you totally could do it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like, try it. Like, try it. I mean, you probably will get something, but
Yeah, but you're gonna get banned for sure. LinkedIn is not joking these days in terms of suspending people's account if they notice they're spamming people. They're very good at filtering. What are some of I'd like to know, like, you've been this for probably the last 14 months. What are some of the pain points, the challenges you have in terms of maybe growing the business and things like that, or trying to figure out, okay, and going against people who've been in the industry for probably last 14, 15 years and they honed their skills. How's it going? I mean, that challenge.
never ends, right? It's like a never ending pain. I think Elon Musk has a really good quote about it, right? It's like,
Right.
building a company is like staring into the abyss and eating glass. And
Right.
it's pretty apt description of what's going on. It's mostly pain. The highs are high, the lows are low.
Right.
It's, you enjoy a high amplitude lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm that type of person where I enjoy riding the full variance of the band. Like if it goes high, I enjoy it to be really high. If it goes low, it's gonna go really low. So the pains, more specifically when it goes low, are growth is never fast enough.
Right.
We're pretty fast right now, I would say. We're doubling every week.
Wow,
So
that's good.
yeah, it is good. And it is nice when we're on that upward curve. Like we're definitely on. You talk about like the ups and downs. Like we're definitely on the up right now.
Mhm.
The past 14 months weren't always up. For being
Yeah.
honest, it's nice to ride the curve, but the pain are. Luckily, I have a really good co-founder, so we never had any co-founder splits. Like our relationship is really good, so that's never. Hiring people pretty easy. I'm really good at managing people. Money. Like at the end of the day, like it's at the beginning stages, you've got to be so smart with how you spend it.
Right.
And if you're being stupid with it, unless you're one of the kids that can, raise like $5 million with just an idea, which if you can, that is awesome. Like 100% do that. But for most people, you definitely need to show revenue before you do that, or some growth.
Exactly.
So it's like, how do you start from, like, how do you create something from nothing?
From
Like,
nothing. That's yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
that's
Yeah. That's interesting. Like, I mean, creating something from nothing. It's now when it comes to scaling, like, what are some of the challenges you face? Like, let's say you want to scale up, or you feel like you want to grow, but what are some of
diminishing
the roadblocks? I'm sorry.
diminishing marginal return. I've quickly realized why a lot of venture funds only invest like over a certain amount of money. It's the same reason, like it takes the same amount of effort to get a multiplier of like 2 as it does 10.
Yeah.
For a very practical example, we're reaching out to influencers right now, right? It takes me the exact same amount of effort to reach out to people with 10,000 to 100,000 followers as it does 100,000 to a million. Exact same effort, literally a 10x gain on my growth. The challenge is just like figuring out what is the bottleneck of my time and what is at this early of a stage, we have not been like a year from now, I can tell you some actual more concrete things about growth. We really just started growing fast. So I'll just preface with that.
Right.
But it's like, where do I focus my time where I can get the next 10x advantage? That's what I'm always thinking.
Was there a time where things were like kind of stagnant and then kind of picked up, or
Yeah.
just from the beginning, just how did that go? Like, and
No.
was it like 1 year waiting and then hoping, and then how did that go? Like,
Dude, it was like a whole year of just
yeah,
suffering.
okay, yeah,
That year sucked. We were making less than like $100. It was like, damn, bro. Like I gave up my job. I was making like $50 an hour. That's like over 100K a year. And it was it was great. I loved it. Like I was 20 too. I
yeah,
was 20 years old. So I got a better, like, essentially job than most people get when they're a junior year, senior year. I had that at 20 and I left it for this.
because yeah,
And then I lost for like it was like, damn,
one
like
year go,
only, but the past 2 months have been like,
yeah,
so
wow, great, yeah. So because I'm curious, most people start a business, the one it picked up within the first few months. So what advice would you give them? Some people just they are there,
sell.
they believe in it, and they at one moment they start doubting themselves, like probably maybe I should have left my job. And what advice will you give them?
Do it while you're young, right?
Okay.
At the end of the day, I took the leave. So I dropped out of NYU, but it's on leave. So I could always go back if I wanted to. So I
Yeah.
had the full, like, hedge your bet if you're young. Don't be stupid, but be smart. Like, people suck at risk calculus.
Right.
But, like, really smart people, typically people that are smart and wealthy tend to not take risks if they're born that way. If they became wealthy, they're almost always risk takers. But most of these smart people don't take risks, which is like, that's the only way you can get that asymmetric advantage that like really
Exactly.
exactly.
Yeah. So if you don't, it's almost sounding like without risk, there's no pain, there's no gain. So you're just going to be smart. And then, but if you want to make money, then you got to take the risk. You got to give up something.
Oh yeah. And it might not be like that. Thought it would definitely happen faster. I'll be honest, but I just like I'm just the type of person, like, if I say I'm going to do it, realistically, I'm going to take it to its logical end. That I would also suggest that, like, do it all the way. If you're going to play all the way. So if you're
Right.
going to say I'm going to do a tech startup, don't like, oh, I'm going to do school, I'm going to do work. No, like, do it.
Do it. Okay.
Be prepared that it's
Definitely going to be easy. Some people have, maybe you're fortunate that probably could always go back and forth and you have options. People like the other tech guys have built business out of their parents' garages. How were you factoring that when you left your 100K job and saying, I'm going to take the risk and jump into this? Did you have like backup plans and things like that and things in
no, there was no job offer that I was like sitting on that I could go now. It was either this way or the highway. That's also a great one. If you intentionally put myself in that position, it was not haphazard. So like I said, it's risk calculus, right? So it's
Right.
not like, no, it's very calculated. But the risk is such that I understand that if it just fucking goes to shit,
Right.
like it just went to nothing. At the end of the day, I'm still fine, right? At the end of the day, I still go, NYU. I get my junior year internship in finance, like very traditional path. Cool. Like, but if it works, I'm like up here.
Right.
And that's kind of what kept me going. It's like at the end
Yeah.
of the chasing the asymmetrical game.
Right.
So
What do you say? Some people say you gotta bend the bridge, right? If you don't want to be looking back and you say this is something you're into and you gotta take the pain, you gotta bend the bridge. And if you don't bend the bridge, you have to keep looking backwards and saying maybe I should go back. People keep saying, well, it's been 3 months, nothing. Is this thing surely gonna work? Do I really believe in this thing? It's been 4 months and everything is just like nothing's gonna pick up. And
autistic.
so, but 1 year, that's amazing that you believed in what you're doing. And after 1 year, you feel like, okay, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Within that time, what are the major shifts that you see in the industry right now? Like during that time, you probably must be seeing some shifts. You seen anything?
Well, when you say let's clarify
I
further.
know in
What
the
do you mean by
industry, like in the tech and everything. I know with the advent of AI and large language models in the last maybe 5, 6 months since probably January, things have shifted a lot. Like how do you guys see those trends?
so more broadly on AI, I'm very bullish. It is going. I think so many people underestimate it. A lot of tech people, I think, are getting it right. But if you just talk to that person right in the middle, or better yet, talk to someone at JP Morgan, talk to someone at TD Bank, talk to someone at any of these corporate jobs that are doing well by common standards. I don't think people fully realize how much it's going to hit.
Right,
There's a very simple formula. There's an OpenAI research paper from 2019 that postulates like the future rate of how AIs will grow in terms of
right,
their.
right,
And the rate is that one per every one, the compute power, so I guess the intelligence of AI doubles every 1.384 months. That is way faster than Moore's
that
law, which
exactly, yeah. It's a lot, like to 1 to 2 months, and it doubles. I remember back in the days when before you go from maybe one by that data storage from 10 gigs to 20 gigs capacity takes you maybe the next year, and we'll be expecting what's going to be the next year thing in tech. But in today's speed and AI world, it's like the next 2 months, what things are going to change. I've seen how models have changed within 4 months, and there's so much competition within the space. How has that impacted maybe your growth or your business strategy? Has that have any impact?
competition, I don't care about, to be honest. I don't care about competition. Like we're realistically, like that first year, right? Like if you're worried about competition before you're making $1 million a year, realistically, like
Right,
you're like that's like it's foolish, right? For lack of a better word, it's actually akin to like mental masturbation because you're just like thinking of things that could
right,
happen. But it's like, bro, where's the revenue? Where's the growth?
right,
Now, if we were having a big company already and I was sitting there, I was making 10 million bucks a year, I might start to be a little bit worried. But honestly, I'm the competition. Like I'm
right.
the people others worry about because we're the fast growing thing. We're the native company. The incumbent LinkedIn, indeed, like, all respect to them, they're giants, but it's they're not exactly known for their rapid speed of iteration. You
Right.
know,
Exactly. They
so
take
I'm
things slow. Yeah, they come with the traditional mentality of, well, probably next year we're going to adjust things, probably next 2 years. But today's world is like 1 month, 2 months.
But for the respect to your question about AI, so like you're talking about like OpenAI will like gradually, become bigger and like eat all startups. The biggest advantage that we have is we're a marketplace. So at
Right,
the end of the day, I control both the distribution of consumers and businesses. That is the biggest. Is it's the tech. Let's be honest. 99% of all startups can be replicated. You give that to like a bunch of kids in like India, the Philippines. Give them a week and like 10 grand.
they're gonna get it done for sure. I learned that a couple of days ago. The guy like, you know what, this thing it doesn't make sense if you have to think of replicating and building these things here. It's not gonna work. Like you have to think of a different strategy. Like you're saying, marketplace, which is quite different. It's not for the marketplace they can't replicate it. The market and the clients. That's the only thing they cannot replicate.
I hope they do. I hope someone does it better because then you know what I'll do? I'll just go and copy that strategy and they like, like I hope
I know.
someone figures it out.
I mean, everybody's trying to figure out, but I hear what you're saying. Like, but if you look what's working for you right now and what's been frustrating? Let's say when you look back in the last couple of years, like you identify areas that are working and the areas that are really frustrating. What are some of those areas?
TikTok is working. That is the
Okay.
easiest one.
Okay.
I should have done that from the beginning. It sounds like a joke. I'm so serious. Really? You post some TikTok videos, you get that formula right, it's gonna hit. We had one 2 days ago that just did 555K views, which is like fire.
That's good.
That's
Wow, that's good to hear. Wow, that's good. So, wow, that's interesting. No, some people you look at all this. So you look at all these platforms. What do you think of Meta, the platform in terms of marketing? You have
haven't used it.
LinkedIn, have Google, YouTube, or whatever it is, and they have TikTok. These are Instagram. Okay, they're competing in the same space. From your perspective, which one really works well for you, and which one can be frustrating in terms of
LinkedIn's
marketing? Sorry.
LinkedIn's probably the easiest one as a founder to like get initial eyes. Twitter, the X, that's a big one.
Yeah.
My buddy's just he launched and he went viral on X. Like it was like first time luck. I was like, wow, like, that's insane. He got 150K views on his launch. Just from a Twitter post or X post. So definitely like the whole founder led marketing. I used to think that was a bit of a farce or a facade rather, but no, it works 100%. LinkedIn, YouTube. My other buddy is a really good business. He was talking to me about a month ago how they rewrote all the SEO algorithms to where YouTube Shorts are going to be prioritized. So that actually might be what we haven't personally capitalized on that yet because maybe we probably should do that for B2B. Maybe to be honest, B2B is like mostly personal network and inbound from like other channels. I don't know how much the whole thing like that seems like a scam to me.
Yeah. No, I know. So, but you have two different models. You have B2B and B2C. Your model, like right now, it looks like your B2C is that's the trend that is picking up for you. And now for the B2B, it's still
Both we have a really good pipeline for B2B as well. But like I said, that comes from like, again, like stuff people can't replicate, right? At the end of the day, my personal network
right.
is, it's pretty good. So I can supply, say, like the first 100 businesses personally. And then after that point, I have people that, can do a lot more than that. So I'm like, that's the other, like B2B, like that's the biggest moat, right? Like, can you actually deliver on that? And B2C is just TikTok.
Yeah. Okay. B2C. Oh, B2C is just TikTok. Yeah, for sure. So let's say your platform, your business model depends on people joining the platform. Would you say the first 1 year was just trying to get people to come on board and believe in the platform, and hopefully within the second year things now start picking up because they have to be there in order for things to work for them? Is that how?
So I guess with this idea, the traction was pretty immediate. I'll be honest. The traction with this idea was pretty immediate. It was the previous, let's like, we started this in June. So this pivot was since June. So the traction for this has been instant, I'll be honest. But previously, it was a whole range of things that we were just trying and it just was not like, try this, not work, try this, not work. Granted, we built our skills, we built our network. We like both my co-founder and I, we built a whole lot of things during this time that made us way more effective like founders, way more effective. 10x ourselves personally that year. So that way, this year, when things actually start to happen, now I'm at least mentally in a position where I could rapidly capitalize on them successfully. But no, that whole year was like, dude, we tried like 6 different things.
Okay. So I know you have to try and see what works. So would you say when it comes to the trend that is going on, how has that impacted your business? Are you mostly has it impacted in a lot or mostly calmed down or not as much as given that what's happening in the maybe the AI and the tech world? Any impact either positive or negative? Because from what a lot of analysis people are saying, and from the tech world, if you don't future proof your business in one way or the other, like just like you say, most corporate people, they are probably still a lot traditional in the way they do things. But if they don't adapt and adjust, they don't know where things may come in the near future. How has that gone for you guys?
Well, luckily, we're both, myself especially, I'm really a futurist. So I very much live in the future. So I'm not worried
Yeah.
about that at all. I think the future's gonna be great. But how do we like affect it? So AI has a massive positive effect on us. We're able to build things insanely fast. So
Right.
realistically, as a startup, if you are not able to ship features in without any embellishment whatsoever, 1 to 2 days, you are behind. And if you do not have the playbook to do that correctly, you need to be thinking way more critically about what you're doing, because that was us before. That whole year, realistically, we could have compressed that into like 2 months. Now, with like all the learnings that I have now, I probably could have done that all maybe even 1 month. So and AI has definitely helped that. Like the models at the beginning of last year were, pretty bad compared to where they're at now, especially in terms of software development.
Yeah.
So it's been a pretty big game there in terms of, but we're not threatened by it. Like the way I look at it is AI is it's the biggest wave that's ever happened ever. So if you put anything on that wave, it's gonna go up. So
Right.
even if I had the worst startup ever,
Yeah.
if it used AI in any capacity, it would get better without me having to do anything.
Anything. All right.
That's the hack.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. Can you expand a little bit more on, you mentioned something about your strategy in terms of TikTok, all these platforms or social media. Can you expand a little bit more? Let's say if you had to spend money, where would you prioritize? Where exactly would you go for to? I know you mentioned TikTok, LinkedIn, and do you have any preference in terms of B2C, B2B, and
That's a great question.
yeah,
Immediately, I would dump it into marketing a lot. I would do the influencer marketing because we have a system where for every dollar we put in, we're getting a lot more than $1 out. So like that's like the most immediate way to get a return on that capital. We've already figured that out. So I would just do that. But I would also invest heavily in the B2B. But again, like
yeah,
the B2B is like it's like a little bit more nuanced.
right,
From my experience, I really like you 14 months of experience, right? What is my experience? So maybe in a year I'll look back and like laugh at this, but it is a bit more nuanced in my opinion. It's not as simple as like make TikTok video showing product, get sign up, generate dollar. It's
right,
like build trust, convince this person that there's value, do the pilot, do all the stuff, and then maybe they pay. But if they pay, they'll pay a lot of money and they'll stay forever.
right. Yeah, so it's a lot more, the part is a little bit, building that trust. Okay, that sounds interesting. Wow. But do you think this is an industry-wide issue trend for every industry? Or let's say whatever thing, B2B, B2C, same for TikTok, sign up and pay, or let's say sign up if it's B2C, but for B2C, you've got to build that network. I'll dive by a little bit my question again. Given you've been on these platforms, probably all of them, where would you want to, let's say, want to put money into marketing? Where would you
We
put?
put some on LinkedIn before. But actually, my previous business I ran when I was younger, I put money into Facebook ads. They weren't that successful. Put money into LinkedIn ads before more recently. That was back in March, April. Not successful. The thing is, so here's the thing with actually, no, I'm not going to tell you the real playbook because I'm not putting that online.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not going to tell
yeah.
you
It's
that.
all right.
But there is definitely a way that you need to do structure the marketing, and paid ads is not the way to go first. I'll just say that there's a way
Right.
that you get to do it. But if I was gonna like, if you gave, so right, we're raising money now, we're a lot of investors are reaching out. So, and I'll just tell you what I'm like, what we have is like, if we had to put money somewhere, it would probably be in towards influencers and more informal marketing. And I would say the same would be on the B2B side.
Okay. Wow, that sounds good. Yeah, because a lot of people are going more traditional, putting money either towards marketing on these platforms, and they're certainly making a lot of money, but they are so people don't know where to go to in terms of how to scale. How do I scale with respect to how do I do it? Where do I meet the clientele? How do I market? And they certainly have that challenge. Oh, so what's your goal next? Let's say the next 1 year. That'll be your
We
that'll
got to
be
hit
your
the
goal.
million ARR faster than a year, to be honest with you. But
Yeah.
it's at this rate, doing that within a year is pretty reasonable.
So if we say your pain point in the business, no more, it's no longer about buildings, probably about marketing,
But
right?
is there like a dog that's a loose?
Yeah, yeah, it's around down somewhere there. And so let's say you want to put money into, let's say you want to fix something in your business. Which area? Where would you fix? Would it be probably building some infrastructure, or maybe
I wouldn't hire that man. It's so funny. It's like I have
okay, but doc,
so
doc is stop.
that's yeah, all good, all good. So okay, if we're gonna put money somewhere to fix the business, well, I wouldn't say fix, so because fix implies that something's broken. I would say at this point we have passed the point of things being broken. It's
Right,
more so what can be improved by a factor of 10, what bottleneck can be alleviated. Biggest thing is not tech. Realistically, it's not tech.
right,
We have, our CTO is insanely cracked, but also if you really have a 10x engineer, you maybe need one person simply for operational redundancy, not even to
yeah,
develop, just to make sure like if he gets sick,
right.
you know, like
There's
there's
some
some
backup.
exactly. Like that's really the only reason we would hire an engineer, and only one. So RIP to the software students right now that are, it's not looking good. But the I would pump it all in sales marketing, to be honest.
Sales and marketing.
100%, like maybe 70%, I would put in sales and marketing.
Yeah, that's the way the industry is right now with everything that is going on. I mean, building stuff, probably maybe in terms of infrastructure, but then the infrastructures are now pretty much solid. But now we need to market and sell what you have. Wow. I mean, wow, that's so one of my questions I usually ask is, what does a typical day look like for you? Like a typical day. Are you in sales? Are you in marketing? Are you in operations? Where do you find yourself, like probably as a founder or something, or phone calls, or just where do you spend most of your time?
I wake up and question my life.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's so I get. If you want to know the day in my life, I wake up, typically like 8, go 30 minutes, like get ready, everything, boom, work. So then
Yeah.
first thing of the day, I'm typically answering emails, which is a lot of contract negotiation. So that's like a lot of my emails, contract negotiation. Do that for like an hour. Maybe I'll check Twitter, see what's going on. Then call with the CTO. Okay, product, what needs to be improved? Review that. Sometimes it takes like 10 minutes. Sometimes today it took 2 hours because we're a lot of big videos coming out. We want to make sure our onboarding's flawless. So it depends. So call it an hour on that product review. Then more contract stuff, reach out to influencers, lunch, next 3 hours after lunch or 3.5 hours after lunch. Mostly negotiate. It's like a lot of business, right? Like you take calls. I had a call this morning. It was like an hour. Just take calls. Stuff that's like investors, all of that. Typically at 3:30, I'll go hit the gym, come back at 5, eat a quick dinner. 5:30, boom. And then from 5:30 to 11:30 is just like whatever work I need to do. Typically, it's like it used to be product design. Now I don't even touch the product anymore. It's all sales, marketing, managing people. Before we moved to the influencers, I had a team of 15, and so that took some time hiring people. I spent time hiring people, managing them. And then so it's like 12 hours a day, every day, 6 days a week. Some days I take like a break. I do like 8 hours. And, so Saturday or Sunday, you have like a nice, 21, so you enjoy like a nice drink or something, take the edge off and do it all again.
It doesn't look like you have a starting time or any time for your dates. Just change based on
There's no
in
way to schedule it.
there's no way to schedule because there's certain things that you want to get done immediately. And when it comes to some metrics, like when you meet with the CDO, are there some specific metrics that you are keen on that helps you?
The tone of my voice when I'm yelling. No, typically, no, no, there's never. It always changes. I'll give you a concrete metric today. We're talking about the conversion rate of our onboarding. So they sign up and then I have the conversion to the paywall. So what percentage of people are hitting paywall? The answer is not enough. We need to make it better. This is how we make it better. if it's like a time to load, right? I get, for a website like largest contentful paint,
Right.
like anything that's whatever is on the agenda that day. But
Right.
literally, like how I schedule my day is literally this. I literally write it
Wow.
down. I write down the 5 things I need to do on paper.
That sounds nice. I mean, it comes across like to be a founder, it's like, okay, you put your head on down, you stay focused and just go and go and go. You don't know what's gonna hit in the next day. Just keeps coming. Maybe some you have to discuss business with some B2B or some influencers or how to push things forward. And if it has to be, it has to be. You don't have a closing time. Wow, that's quite interesting. Wow, this has been a very eye-opening. I tend to do this podcast just to know where how the industry is at and what's training, what's happening, what people are doing, especially among tech founders and people founding new companies, especially in today's world where we have a lot of it's been easy, as you said, to create new environments, create new businesses and kick it off the ground and the challenges that they are facing. Wow, it's really been a pleasure to really talk to you and hope to talk to you again soon. I'm just gonna stop the recording and then we can go from there. Okay. So I mean this I think I stopped, right? I want to stop it again. Right.